Hey guys, what's up? This is Daniel Pinheiro from danielpm@1982.com. And for those who don't know me yet, I'm a Java developer here from Brazil, and I'd like to invite you to this new course about XML and XSD. So now let's see what this course offers and what's its curriculum. So this is the documentation of our course with all details, and you can find it attached as a PDF document to this presentation lecture at the course contents. So the name of this course is XML and XSD, a complete W3C content based course. And so far we have a workload of more than 10 hours. What I intend to offer with this course is a better explanation as well as much better practical examples with Eclipse IDE when compared to the content from W3 schools or from W3C recommendations. So here are all my contact info in case you wanna contact me by any of these means. Here I give some general overview about what is XML and what is XSD. So now let's see, still in a general view, what you're gonna learn from this course. So first, you learn all the theory about how to use XML language correctly, as well as all about its general and specific syntaxes according to the World Wide Web Consortium or W3C official recommendations. You'll also learn all the practice about how to code your XML files using the elements, attributes, and types, default and custom ones, from the referred XSD schemas, as well as how to test the correctness and validation of your XML instances against their referred XSD docs using Eclipse IDE automation. And you see it's very simple to use the validation with Eclipse. You'll also adventure into the complete theory background about how to create your own XSD schema documents and master the details about XSD general and specific syntaxes according to W3C official specifications. You will practice through tens of examples and much better examples than W3C schools examples. You practice how to code your own XSD files using the 3 design methods suggested by W3C, as well as how to take advantage of all main base elements, attributes, and types from the default W3C namespace to create your own personalized XML and XSD components and use these components on your XML instances. You'll also have pretty clear what default and custom namespaces are, as well as prefixes, both at the XML instances as at the XSD documents. You learn how to import and include multiple XSD documents into one same XSD and later refer to that XSD from some XML instances to use those components at the instance and later validate the instance against this XSD with the other XSDs imported, and also how to refer from multiple XSD documents from one same XML instance. You see, both strategies will be pretty easy, and you even learn how to use your personal brand, in my case Daniel PM 1982, as the prefix for customizing your code. All this course theory, as well as the good practice and techniques used, are based on the World Wide Web Consortium and W3 schools content, but here with a much better and complete explanations, as well as with better practical examples. So after doing this course, you understand much easier all the document types used at web services development or any other application that uses XML and XSD or wsdl. In the case of wsdl and JSON, I'll add these two sections later in the few next months. And all the codes available and all source codes are available already at my GitHub, as well as attached as zip files to each practice lecture, and you can easily download for studying or testing them yourself, or even to create your own better examples. So additional content as WSDL and JSON, theory and practical lectures, as well as lectures with sample web services projects demonstrating the real-world applicability of XML, XSD, WSL, and JSON will be added incrementally within the next months, as I've already said, at this same course. But you can finish this course only by watching the two first sections or the current content already published and receive your Udemy certification on that content already available. And if you want later, you can come back and watch the future extra contents, which are the WSDL and JSON sections, and at the end receive another Udemy certification with the updated content and the updated name for the course. So here are the prerequisites for this course. Basically, the only thing you gotta have is the Eclipse IDE installed at your PC or notebook. But in case you don't have any computer available at the time you watch this course, you can just watch the theory and practical lectures. Everything is created from the scratch, so there won't be any assumption that you will be doing anything on your own. I'll do everything at the lectures, and you can follow up even if you don't have any computer available at that moment. Also, you won't have to know any programming languages, as well as any framework or API. These languages we're learning in this course, XML, XSD, WSL, and JSON, are not programming languages. They are structuring languages or markup languages. And also, I won't make any test or tell you to do any assignment, because I really don't think that works. The only exercise that works is for you to start coding and testing your own examples, or repeat the examples of our practical lectures. And if you do those examples, and if you test, and the test indicates that the code is well formed and also validates to the XSD you're creating or referring from the instances, that will mean that you've got everything okay. So, whom this course is for? This course is basically for anyone who wishes to learn XML and XSD for any future application or applicability, mainly for web services development. But you have many other applications as mobile or even desktop software. So what are the references for this course? As I've said, the main reference source for this course is the W3C, which is the creator and the worldwide maintainer of the specifications or recommendations of the XML language, as well as of XSD, WSDL, JSON, and all related XML and JSON technologies. And all related links for the W3C content, including the recommendations, will be available at each theory lecture description. So what's the difference between taking this course, which is based on the content from W3C, and simply go to W3 School's site and read their material? Although the content is almost entirely referenced on W3C publications, this course offers a much better, a much organized, and a much understandable explanation about each content, and also a much greater set of examples, real examples, complete examples, and not only snippets of code using Eclipse IDE, and from the easiest examples to the most complex ones. If you go to W3 Schools, which I suggest you to do later if you want, you see that you find there only very synthetic definitions and some still much simpler examples about each topic or subtopic, which is pretty different from our explanations and examples here. And what's the difference between taking this course and taking other XML XSD courses at Udemy? Well, I've no objection at all to you to take any number of courses you want. You may take this one, you may take other ones, even they can complement each other. But this course has an innovative methodology. It's much more organized and complete. As I've said, it already has over 10 hours of theory and practical lectures, as well as it has much better examples explained step by step without any hurried 2-3 minute lectures, which is pretty common at Udemy, because Udemy suggests that, but I decided not to follow that suggestion. So, and this course covers in full everything that W3C suggests about XML and XSD, and later about also wsdl and json. So now regarding the methodology adopted here, this course is organized similar to any university or college lecture, with an average of 1 hour per lecture. At universities or colleges you have 2-hour lectures, so 1 hour won't be that much. And the organization is oriented towards the content itself and not short time limited lectures. So I think that prioritizing the content on the curriculum organization contributes way better to cohesiveness, as well as to the organization and consolidation of the content in anyone's head. And that's why I refrained from accepting that very common suggestion of creating 2 to 3 minute classes or even 5 to 6 minute classes, because I usually observe that students always criticize on other courses I've already taken that everything is too hastily delivered, as if the students already knew the subject. It won't be our case here, because here, differently from that, you see that it's pretty nice and easy what we are gonna deliver, and you won't get lost on the content even if you never heard about XML or any structural or programming language before. Anyways, you're free to plan your own individual learning schedule, and for that you just have to take note of the time of the last lecture you've seen, and later, when you want, go back to that lecture and continue until the content you wish to see at that day. So finally, this course is divided into theory and practical lectures, and you thus have multiple chances from multiple explanation perspectives. I can explain some more complicated subtopic more than one time, both at the theory as at the lecture, and that will be intentionally, so that you can learn and complement the acknowledging of each topic, subtopics, practice, coding and testing, and so on. And of course, everything at your own time, at your own pace, and at your own individual needs. Why that? Because the access to this course will be forever yours. Udemy guarantees that you have a lifetime access to this course. Even if, for example, the instructor deleted the course, you would still have access to the course content already published until that time. And so you'll be able to review any lecture as much as you want. And that's basically the main advantage of e-learning recorded lectures compared to live face-to-face attendance lectures. So welcome to the course. I hope you have a great learning experience, and please don't forget to give me some reviews at Udemy. If you agree, please give me good reviews so that I can be motivated to create many more programming courses and, who knows, turn them into bestsellers with your help. So thanks in advance for any good reviews. And also be my guest to suggest anything about the course through the platform or by email. And here you have the curriculum. This is the version from November 1st, 2019. It's when this course has been released for the first time. And here you have 4 sections. First section and some documentations and links. Then we start the second section, which is the XML section. And at that XML section, we're gonna have one theory lecture with everything about XML. What is XML? Who maintains it? And what are its specs or specifications? What are the characteristics of XML language? What are the XML related technologies? Next, we'll see the general syntax of XML, and later the specific syntax with the XML elements, XML attributes, and XML namespaces, and how to use each one of these at the XML document instances. Next, we'll have 2 practice lectures. The first one with the coding and testing of these 5 examples. An example with no schema and no namespaces. Another example with namespaces but with no schema yet. Then we create 2 examples with both namespaces and referring to pre-created schemas. And finally, we create another XML instance example that imports the 2 other XSDs used at Note 1 and Note 2 to show you how to use all these imported XSDs contents inside an instance that refers to that importing XSD. Then we have the second XML practice with the coding and testing of the animal group XML. It's a classical example at programming language to create groups of animals. Everybody have in mind what that would mean. And then we have a more realistic example, which is a consultation record example for structuring and storing data regarding the patients of any clinician professional. In this case, we're going to show an example of a patient from a pharmaceutical doctor representing the registration of the data at a clinical pharmaceutical consultation. At section 3, we start seeing XSD, how to create XSDs, and we have 3 theory lectures about XSD. Then we will have 3 practical lectures, so it's much more content than at the XML lectures. So in the first XSD theory lecture, we'll see what XSD is, what's the difference between DTD and XSD, who maintains it, and what are its specifications, similar to what we've seen with XML. What are the characteristics of XSD? Then we start seeing the general syntax of XSD. Next, we see the design methods that we can use for creating or writing an XSD document, which are the simple method, the divided method, and the named types method. Then on the second XSD theory lecture, we start seeing the specific syntax, including the simple elements and their built-in data types, the default and fixed attributes, and the built-in facets, which are extended constraints of those types. Then we see the attributes, how to define attributes at an XSD. And at the third and last lecture about XSD, we start seeing the complex elements. Then we see the extension and restriction strategies. Then we see the strategies for extension and restriction of complex elements or complex types. Then we see how to write or define or declare empty complex elements, elements only complex elements, text only complex elements, and mixed content elements. Then we see all indicators available from the W3C default namespace, and you see why we need those indicators when declaring complex types or complex elements. Next, we see the any and the any attribute elements. And then we see the substitution group attribute, also very useful in some cases. And finally, we review the data types, the string data types, the date time data types, the numeric data types, and the miscellaneous types. And finally, I just present 2 indexes, one for all elements available from W3C and the other for all facets also available from W3C, which you can use to create your own components, as we're gonna see in our practices. So at the first XSD practice lecture, we'll see the animal group XSD, the Node 1 and Node 2 XSDs, the Node all import XSD, which we use it at that Node all XML example. Then I also show you how to include, instead of import, multiple XSDs inside another XSD. And then we create the consultation record.xsd for our last XML example. And next, on the 2 other XSD practical lectures, we create all the XSD examples related to the second topic, which is XSD itself. The shape order example with the simple method, divided method, named types method, and also showing you all possible indicators here at the indicators XSD example. Then we create 2 XSDs for exemplifying how to use extension and restriction strategies with complex types. And on the next XSD practical lecture, we show you how to create empty, text only, elements only, and mixed complex elements. We also show you how to use the any and the any attribute at the music catalog examples. And finally, how to use the substitution group with a multi-language letter example. And then why I don't publish the wsdl and JSON other two sections. We go to the final section for congratulations and final suggestions I would recommend you. So just to state clear, as I've said before, all the source codes created and used at this course can be found at my GitHub link, which is this one. You can copy and paste to your browser. It will go directly to all examples with the XMLs and XSDs used at this course. And here are my contact info again, in case you have any doubt or you want to enter in contact with me for any reason related to this course. So, as you've seen, this course offers everything that W3C suggests about XML and XSD, and I'll also add on the near future 2 other sections on this same course about wsdl and JSON, so that you can be pretty sure about having learned all 4 types of documents essential for start learning web services development. So I hope you like this course, and I hope it to be useful for your students or even for your professional life. See you there. Bye.